Hello everybody, welcome to JD's Journeys. My name is JD and today we have a retro book review. Today's review is this book, MoonRush by Carolyn McCray and Ben Hopkin. This is an ebook that I got for free and it is science fiction, but it contains a lot of fiction and very little science. Simply put, this book is about a group of treasure hunters who find out that, hey, they can make more money on the moon looking for gold. You see, this is the new gold rush on the moon. And of course, they have a rivalry with someone who's also looking for treasure, who is also now going to the moon. But let me tell you about what I liked and didn't like about this book. As an ebook, you just wonder, is the formatting okay? Well, in this case it was fine. Formatting, spelling, there are a few spelling mistakes, but nothing so bad. But, I just couldn't get into this book. I pick it up and I think, I don't want to read it. Now, why would that be? Well, there are a lot of reasons. One of the biggest problems I had with this book was the fact that I'm sure the authors didn't do any kind of research. There were so many things wrong with this. I think one of the biggest errors is on the space station. It was one of those wheel-type space stations. It's rotating, and the gravity should be on the outward walls, As it's spinning, the centripetal force should force you onto the walls on the outside. However, they had this so that the spinning caused gravity to go inwards. That is the complete opposite of what actually happens. Very wrong. Also, they had earthquakes in the Bahamas, which is not a common thing at all. They had jet aircraft that had been retired in the 1990s, but they're using it in the future for the military. What? I don't understand that at all. As I said, this is kind of like the new gold rush, but actually it's a diamond rush. So they're rushing to the moon to find diamonds, which is fine, okay. But the story itself, well, it's very, very action-based. There's a lot of action, there's very little downtime. Once something happens, they go on to the next thing, and it just keeps going and going and going. It is good for people who like action. I would say that. If they really like action, if they like some humor as well, this may be fine for them. But I found that a lot of the humor in this book was based on cliches, and that just didn't sit well with me. The action itself is very cartoonish and unrealistic. I just got the impression that this is like a big anime episode that was made into a book. Just seems so unrealistic. And the dialogue was also very unrealistic. It was cliche after cliche after cliche. I just could not stand that. That's the main thing that made it really difficult for me to read. I kept groaning at everything they say, and it's not just the dialogue, it was the narrative as well. So many cliches. I just couldn't get through it very well. It took me a long time to read this book. The characters are all stereotypical characters that you find in adventure books and movies. We have the leader. His name is Jared. He is reckless, and all he does is crack jokes. And then we have Rob, his reckless nephew, who seems to be a mechanical genius. And then there's Cleo, the worrying mother type who does nothing but nag, nag, nag. And Bouton, the incredibly intelligent scientist who is never wrong. On the other side, we have Gil, who is the greedy rival with connections. And Dr. Wagner, the evil scientist who will do anything he can to get what he wants. The characters are all stereotypes, and they have very little to no development. They are just two-dimensional. There's no depth in them at all. The setting is sometimes not described very well. There's one point where they're going into this place on the moon, and they have their spacesuits on at first, but then they just walk through a door and take off their spacesuits. And I'm wondering, is there no airlock in there? The door just opens and they go in, and that just seems a little scary. I wouldn't want to be there. I know I sound a bit harsh with this review. Originally, I gave this 2 out of 5 stars, and I would stick with that. I'd definitely give MoonRush 2 out of 5 stars. The thing is, it's just not for me. I'm educated as a scientist. I was also an English teacher, and there are so many things in here that just didn't sit right with me. But if you are a fan of fun action and you don't really care about the science and you don't really care about any things like cliches, if it doesn't bother you, then you may actually enjoy this. So definitely, if that is the kind of thing you like to read, then go ahead and read it. So have you read this book? Let me know in the comments section below what you thought of it. Also, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and please subscribe right here. Over here is the previous review, and over here is a recommended video. So thank you for going on this journey through literature with me. See you in the next video.